Okay, I'm redoing the rear axles and the plates here, and I just thought I would show what I was doing. I'm not an expert by any means, but what I'm doing is, I know that the gear oil comes in through here, but then also there are the ball bearings there that could have grease on them, packed with grease, that is. And then under here there's like a little drain hole, and I'm not exactly sure when you do that, but so what I've just decided is at the rear of the plate I'm just going to put a thin coating of Permatex, because it seems like gear oil could seep through and hit the contact of the plate. And then there's a gasket for the front part here, which I'm going to also put Permatex Aviation on front and back. And then I'm going to pack some of this red lithium grease in the bearings and in the back side of this plate, which covers the bearings. So I already did that whole procedure on the back left wheel, and this is what I'm doing on the back right. Something could get through there, so I'm just cleaning this off here in the back. And then this is probably unnecessary, but just because it is possible for something to get back there, I'm just putting a little bit of this on there. Again, this is probably totally unnecessary. In fact, I don't see anyone kind of recommending that you seal the plate to the backing part. They just say make sure that it's super flat. But I'm going to do that anyway. And then, let's see, I'm just peeling off this was a new paper gasket. So we'll see if this stays intact. So, new paper gasket here. So this is going, let's see, I'll put a little bit of this Permatex also just right here where see, you can see that it actually did leak some oil. Well, I'm not exactly sure. That's probably because I just had it set on there and pretty loose. So, we're just trying to make sure that this leaks as little oil as possible. So, put this on. Hopefully that Permatex prevents that. Then what we do is, I have the paper gasket, but what I'm going to do is, where the paper gasket goes is right in here. I'm going to Permatex this. Again, there are a number of different things. You could put RTV there, you could put that Curil stuff that you use, supposed to be oil resistant, that seals the case halves. But the most versatile one seems to be this Permatex Aviation, so just putting that there. And what I'm going to do here on these bearings, you see the bearings there, gear oil comes through there, but I am just going to do this anyway, which is to pack this full of red grease. Now, somebody might think that this is, everybody knows what they're doing, knows whether this is the right or the wrong thing to do, but I've got mixed signals when I Googled this, and it said, yes, you pack the rear bearings with grease, and then some say, oh no, gear oil is fine, and then some people say, oh, make sure that you have the right amount in there. But either way, you know what, I'm just packing this into the crack there. And then on this thing here, I will also take grease and there's a seal there, and I am just greasing the inside of this, and that may make grease come out onto my brake drums. I don't know, but this is what I decided to do, and I did that on the other side, so that's what I'm doing. So, winds up looking like that, and like that, and I have the Permatex there. So now, the last step is I put the paper gasket here, try to avoid the grease. That to align on the holes, and then I just have to get one more coat of Permatex Aviation on top of that paper gasket. And then we should be good here. So then I take my packed thing here. Well, there's a little drain hole that does not seem to be. I'm just gonna grab a little awl and yeah, this is something I just noticed, and I probably should have done this on the other one as well, but this little hole, which is supposedly a drain hole, it just was plugged full of junk. Probably should have cleaned that out a little better. But anyway, I got it out on that one. This is pretty clean. Just clean off the excess grease, since that it's gonna hit the gasket with the Permatex Aviation. And now this goes oriented down like that. Okay. And my 4 bolts. So, let's take a look at what we got here. So this packed with grease, I have the seals, and then this is the outer washer. Obviously a little bit of the rust reformers on the outside of this, but I think that should be fine. And then gasket with Permatex Aviation, backside with Permatex Aviation. So did that on both sides, and I have my emergency brake thing there as well. So the other thing that I had worked on is my rear brake lines. So it comes here, rear brake line comes over across like this, connects into the little flex tube, and then it's waiting here, and then you do hard line to the actual brake here. And then on this side, it has a little wiggly one, comes to the small flex line here, and that'll also go straight to the brake line down there. So, all right, well, everything I would just said, except for I had the wrong plates on the wrong side because of the way this emergency brake comes in this way. It's pretty clear that I just had that incorrect. So I took them off. Luckily I didn't really have to do much because they were already had the grease and the Permatex and all that stuff. So also give me the opportunity to clean this little guy out here as well, which is the little oil drain, which just was filled with junk. So I had already cleaned the other one out, so that makes me feel good. But as I mentioned, I just completely spaced out on which plate went on which side, and I had the emergency brake thing on the wrong side. So now I can do it correctly. Everything should fit. Through. And so this, basically this thing here has to go on this little clip where I'm assuming that the washer goes on the outside because the washer is holding the spring. So I'm pulling both the washer and the spring up, get this clip out, washer out, like that. And then this has to fit into here. See if it does. This thing has to fit in here. And the clip has to bolt down. See if I can actually get this clip in there. So this thing something like this. If I can get this underneath there. Tricky puzzle piece to get this in there, but let's see, almost. There we go. Got it. All right, so that has to fit there so that this hole fits, and then on this side, looks like this. And then I can bolt that down. This little bolt here, I'm just gonna loosely fit it for now because I still have a bunch of work that I have to do to make sure that these wheels and everything are put on there correctly. Okay, I fed that through and I changed this to kind of orient so that it would, you know, have the outward bend there. And that just comes up to here. So I got this bolt in, it's loosely fit right now. I'll tighten this all the way down once I'm doing, you know, emergency brake lever pulls from there. So I'm gonna do the other side. So I have this one down below. I want to make sure that the this guy kind of goes like this. And well, it's not all the way in that yet. Okay, just take a look at what I've done, which is I got these plates on, The emergency brake things fed through and clamped down. Got these bolts fastened, though I might have to loosen them because I've got to somehow wriggle this last seal in. Then I did my brake lines and this last hard brake line that comes through to my new brake cylinders. And on the other side, same deal. This guy, I should probably move this away from the e-brake just a little bit. But I have the brake line coming around and across. It's to the flexible one, and then I have the hard one coming into the new brake cylinder. And the e-brake right here, which is tightened down. Can't believe I put on the wrong plates the first time around, but for those of you that had to cringe through that part of the video and say and yell the plates on the wrong side, I did wind up correcting it. So obviously you can't drive a car if it's assembled incorrectly, so it wouldn't have worked in the long run. But this is looking pretty good right now in terms of wiring everything up. I saw that the seal is in the mail with a tracking number, USPS, so I should be able to get, I got to do that. Rehook up my shifter in here, close this up, tighten down my front transmission mount and the back transmission mounts as well, which I don't have the bolts in here yet because I know I'm gonna have to move that out, so those bolts are there. I'm gonna take my this plate here. I have another one of these, but this one seems really good. It seems like I probably don't need to replace that, but I want to look at the seal here because this has a little bit of play in it, which I've read is okay as long as that seal looks okay behind here. So that was my progress.